let's get right into it. I'm not going to go over the packaging because there's a million of these videos out there already. So I got the shade 190, which is light neutral. For me, there is no Sephora's anywhere near me. The closest one is hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. So I did purchase this online from Sephora. So I tried my best to kind of match up what foundation color I thought I would be. I found that their shade guide on the Sephora site was absolutely hopeless because I entered in my pale color in a Hourglass foundation and then entered in my tanned color in the same Hourglass foundation, and it came up with exactly the same Fenty foundation. So I'm like, how can that even work? So I'm hoping this is going to be the right color. I did kind of get this to be more of my tanned shade. I did do a little swatch on my Snapchat last night and it actually looked like it was fairly similar to my not tan color, which is this at the moment. Maybe a tad darker, but we'll see. I have no idea. This could be a massive fail, but oh well. So here it is here, Fenty Beauty. This was $50 off the Sephora website, and shipping I think was about $5 or $10 on top of that, and shipping took forever. It took like a week and a half to 2 weeks before I got my foundation. So I am going to prime half of my face and we'll see how it goes with a primer and without a primer. Now I've heard a lot from this foundation that it is not good for people with dry skin, and my skin has definitely been more on the dry side since I've been pregnant. So kind of combination to dry, I would say. So I'm pretty intrigued to see how this foundation will turn out on my skin and if a primer really will make a big difference. So for primer, I'm going to use the Midas Touch primer from Australis because it is a serum primer. So I'm going to be applying this with my damp beauty blender, and let's just go into it. I'll let that primer kind of sink in a little bit, so I'll apply this on the non-primed side. So I'm going to apply it on the back of my hand. It is very liquidy. That's 2 pumps right there. So yeah, very quite watery and liquidy. I'm just patting it on, and actually I think this color doesn't seem too bad. Like, this was meant to be my tanned color. But just goes to show that I can't really pick colors that well online then. Okay, so this has been 2 pumps so far, and I feel like I've done majority of my cheek area already, and it does seem to look quite good. So I'm going to do another pump and do kind of under my chin and jawline, and then we'll do one more pump for my forehead. So I'm finding it that it's blending really, really easily. A little bit does go a really long way. It does seem to dry quite quickly, but I mean, this bit here, the first bit I did, it still feels a little bit tacky to the touch, so I wouldn't say it's completely 100% dry. It does seem to have a nice kind of dewiness finish to it. I guess it's still drying, so we'll see how it looks once it's completely dry. So I'll do maybe half a pump for my forehead. So that's already 1, 2, 3, 4 pumps pretty much for half my face. And again, this is the non-primed side, so it might blend easier with some of the primer on it. That's how it's looking. I would actually say that this color is pretty good. To help me pick a color as well, I did see, I think there was a BuzzFeed article, or I'll try and find it, and there was like literally every single shade in the Fenty line with people's photos next to it. So I saw this photo of this girl who is a YouTuber as well. I will insert the photo here, and I saw it, I'm like, yeah, that could be me with a tan. And looking at it now, like how drastically different those pictures are, like skin color wise, and this is the same color foundation. Yeah, it just really goes to show that you can't really tell by a picture what foundation color you're going to be. So yeah, sorry if that's making you guys more confused. All right, so we'll go in on the primed side. So already I'm feeling like this side does spread a little bit further. Like I've managed to do pretty much that whole entire bit. And I still have some foundation left over here. So I'm going to pick up this extra bit and do down my jawline. It does definitely seem to go a lot further with a primer. All right, that was 2 pumps, and I'll do another half a pump for my forehead. So far, it's not feeling too bad. It is starting to feel a bit tight around the side that I haven't primed, almost like when you have a face mask on and it's kind of starting to dry and it's feeling like So yeah, it definitely is feeling a little bit kind of tight on that side. Even the side that I'm doing at the moment, I can definitely feel like there's product on there. I don't know, I feel like the side that's not primed feels a lot heavier than the side that is primed. Or it could just be because it is more of a dry formula perhaps, that this side is kind of like like sucking up all the moisture from my skin, whereas this side that has been primed is just a little bit more hydrated. I don't know. I feel that this side has definitely become more matte as it's dried. Definitely to the touch, like it doesn't really feel like I've got anything on my skin, but it feels completely dry. I think even like go as far as saying if you were to hug someone, like this wouldn't actually really transfer. That's what it feels like to me. This side is definitely still drying. I can see a lot of kind of, I don't know if it's cakiness or just flakiness where some of my dry skin around my nose is. It does seem to be clinging to that. Even on this side, like just if you have those tiny little like sebaceous filaments or whatever they're called, or pores or whatever, it just seems to be showing it up a fair bit around my nose. Of course, from this distance it's okay, but you know, looking up close in a mirror like this, it's like, oh. But in saying that, I don't think anyone's going to be right up in your face, hopefully, looking at your skin that closely. I think the coverage is actually pretty good. It was meant to be medium coverage, I think. Where's the packet? Where did the box go? Oh, it's on the ground. It's so far. Okay. It is so far to the ground. Okay, medium to full coverage for all. Long wear, light as air. Okay, so medium to full coverage. I do agree. I think the coverage is pretty nice actually. I don't think it really feels light as air. Maybe more so on the side that's primed, it feels lighter. This side is still drying as well, so it still feels a little bit kind of tacky. Whereas the side I didn't prime feels like chalk. My skin feels chalky. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and then we'll check back throughout the day and see how the foundation is looking. It is currently 11 o'clock and we'll just see how it goes throughout the day. So I'll do the rest of my makeup and I will be back. Okay, so the rest of my makeup is on and already I could tell, especially around my nose, just like the dryness of it. It's almost like it's gone cakey in a way, but not. It just seems to kind of be sitting on top of my skin, like it's not actually melding and working in with my skin. It does seem to be pretty much equal on both sides, whether it's been primed or not. And this is the area that I've had a little bit of dryness as well, but it definitely is like sitting on top of my skin. It's not wanting to like blend and look seamless, like just like skin. I also did find that when I was doing my concealing under the eye on this side, which is the primed side, it almost was like the under eye concealer didn't want to mix in with the foundation. It didn't want to blend easily on top of the foundation. I had a lot more trouble with this side than I did with the unprimed side. And the one I used was just a Physicians Formula. It's a very liquidy, quite watery concealer, so it's not like thick or heavy or anything like that. And it didn't want to blend in really at all. And I think even if I look at it now, like I can see just areas where it's lifted. You probably can't pick it up too much on camera, but I feel like almost, you know, any tiny pore I had, any area that wasn't perfect, it's like it's been filled up with powder. Like looking at it closely, I can see like these kind of white dots everywhere, which I don't really like the look of, especially like around my smile lines. It just seems to be getting a bit dry and just a bit, and even like me trying to blend out my nose contour on top of this was so hard. It's not blended perfectly, so don't mind that, but it was really hard to work with. I feel that it's almost even taken off the foundation where I did put that contour on. Like it seems like it just trying to blend the contour, and it was a powder contour as well, trying to blend that out seems to have just taken the foundation off entirely. So I'm just gonna even pat some more of that on just to try and cover that. Oh gosh, we'll leave it. This is the spot on my hand where the foundation was. I want to see if it does oxidize, so I'm going to just pump a little bit extra on and we'll see the color difference. 2 pumps. So yeah, definitely I do feel it does oxidize or dry down to a darker shade. If this is the shade it was when you first applied it, and then you can see what it's oxidized down to. So definitely it does oxidize. I do feel that kind of on my neck as well, where I've applied it, it's oxidized, like, because when I was applying it, I'm like, this, you know, is pretty much my color. But now I think it has gone that little bit darker compared to the rest of my skin. Nothing kind of too drastic, but yes, definitely oxidized. So I'm going to just continue wearing this makeup throughout the day, check back in with you guys and see how it's going. I'm not going to use any setting sprays, nothing like that. No powders. I definitely don't want to put a powder on top of this because I feel like my skin is already a desert. And anything else would just be way too much. And I'm also going to show you guys in natural light and with a flash and all that jazz, all that good stuff. So yeah. Okay, rainbows, so don't mind my lipstick coming off, but this is in dark light with the flash on my camera, so it doesn't seem to have any real flashback. It's still looking quite good. It actually looks like it's a better match for my neck with this flash on, but yeah, definitely not so much without the flash. But yeah, it does look really, really nice with flash photography. Okay, so this is out in natural light. I'm actually puffed because I just walked up all those stairs. I'll zoom you guys in. So I don't know if you guys can see, like, it just seems to be sitting on top of my skin. It seems to be looking a bit flaky, kind of cakey in a way. This side is the primed side and this is the non-primed side. So yeah, I just feel, I don't know, that it's just not really sitting that well on my skin. Yeah, from afar it does look quite nice, but as soon as you start looking closer, it's like, oh. So yeah, my lipstick's coming off. Okay. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. This is what I was talking about. Like, it seems like all my little pores have been filled up with like powder. It just, yeah, doesn't really seem to be that flattering. But then as well, in saying that, like, no one's really going to be, oh, hi, that close, I'm hoping, to my face. But yeah. Hey rainbows, so it is almost 2 o'clock, so this foundation has been on for about 4 hours now. I think, like, from looking at it like this, oh my god, look how messy the couch is. I'll spin around this way. So from looking at it like from this distance, I think it looks really, really nice. Like, my skin looks just nice. I wouldn't really say it had too much of a glow. Like, the glow here is my highlighter. The rest of it's pretty matte. Definitely it has oxidized a lot. Like, I actually had to wipe some of the foundation off from here because I was just like, oh my god, I had like these streaks pretty much. You can still see a bit here. So it's oxidized a lot. But I don't know, up close though, I feel these areas here are just looking really flaky, kind of cakey, and just even like sinking into my creases and stuff like that. But yeah, I think overall it's still looking pretty good. It still looks like it's holding up really well. Doesn't seem to have faded. I still feel like I've got good coverage. And yeah, glasses back on so I can see. So yeah, I'll check back with you guys a bit later on. Okay, so it is now 5 o'clock. The foundation has been on for 6 hours or so now. And this is how it's looking. Definitely oxidized. Like, hello. I'll zoom you guys in. So I feel like some of that kind of powderiness has gone away. I have been doing a lot of housework and stuff today, and it is a 30-degree day, so I have been kind of like getting a bit warm. So I feel like as the kind of natural oils have come out in my skin, it's almost like they've absorbed that kind of powderiness of it. Maybe it's just me. Take my glasses off. I still feel that it is kind of clinging, showing up all the kind of imperfections and everything I have around my nose, which is just lovely. But yeah, from afar it's not too bad. I think it's pretty much held up pretty well. Both sides look pretty good. you know, considering one side's primed, the other side's not. So this was the primed side and this is the not primed side. I actually feel like this side feels a little bit sticky. I don't know why, but this side doesn't really. That's a bit weird. Okay, so my final verdict on the foundation. I like it, I do. I do feel that it performs differently, obviously, for people with different skin textures, or if you're oily or combination or anything like that. I have heard that this is better for people with oily skin. It definitely does give you more of a matte finish, and I think if you did have more of that kind of oiliness to your skin, that it would look a little bit more like skin, and it would give you just like that nice natural kind of coverage that was just look like your skin but better. I feel for people that do have more dry skin, combination to dry skin, it's not the best. Especially if you are looking for that really nice natural kind of finish, that you want it to feel light as air, that you want it to look, you know, flawless but still not cakey or anything. Definitely on the areas where I do have... Hello? Good. You're still at work? Love you too. Bye. Oh, it's so sweet. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so definitely people that do have dry skin, this is going to cling to your dry areas. It's going to kind of sit on top of your skin. It's not going to want to blend in. You're going to actually really be able to tell that it's on your skin, because that's what I felt like. I could actually feel it on my skin. Definitely felt a bit dry, chalky. Feels a lot better with a primer, and the product does go a lot better with a primer. But yeah, if you want that kind of natural, dewy, beautiful finish and you have dry skin, I don't think you're going to get it with this. It did make blending out the contouring harder, kind of rubbed off the product, and yeah, it just doesn't, it just almost like sinks into your pores and goes powdery. And yeah, I mean, I know looking at it now it looks quite nice, but I really do think that's because I have kind of been not sweating, but you know, doing housework, and some of the natural oils have come out in my skin. I still do like the foundation. In saying that, I think I just may need to try a different primer or something, or even instead of using a primer, use like rosehip oil or something like that to prime my skin, because I think that could really make a difference, could make the product look a little bit better. I didn't have any issues with applying the product. I thought it applied fine. I've heard that other people had, but for me, didn't seem that bad at all. Damp beauty blender, and it was fine. Even like applying, you know, half my face, letting it dry, and then doing the other half, like I don't think I've got any issues with joining up the lines or anything like that from one half to the other. It still seems pretty all good. It definitely does last a long time. Like this is 6 hours in. This is me, you know, running around doing housework, everything, and it still looks pretty flawless. I haven't touched anything up. Haven't felt the need for powder or anything like that either. It does oxidize as well, guys, so if you're going to get it, perhaps get a shade lighter. I wouldn't say it oxidizes like 2 shades darker or anything. Like even now, like it doesn't look too bad. You can get away with it just using some bronzer or something like that if it has oxidized, but I would say it oxidizes like half to 1 shade darker. Alright rainbows, so foundation's been on for 7 hours. About to wash it off, and I thought I'd just show you guys how it reacts with water. So I've got some warm water here, and I've already like drenched this side of my face with water. So I'm just trying to see if I can like rub it off as much as I can with water. It's actually holding up pretty well. I'm impressed. Holding up pretty well. Wow. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Be sure to check out some of the other foundation first impression videos I've done. I do have a playlist of them. If you guys have any recommendations of other foundations, as long as they are cruelty-free brand, because you guys know all my videos are cruelty-free. So yeah, just let me know. I love you guys. Bye.